Welcome back to Your Story Matters. This is our Global Speakers Summit. Our next expert speaker is the phenomenal Jodie Baudek. Jodie is best known as a highly sought after keynote speaker, mindset coach, and #1 international best-selling author. Jodie is also a wellness expert, and she has a beautifully unique take on mindset, a beautifully unique perspective on life. And she is here today to share her wisdom, her guidance, and hopefully inspire some of us along the way, which I know she will. So, welcome to the stage, Jodie. So I'm so excited to be on this summit stage with my dear friend Jodie. Jodie, we have just heard your incredible introduction, all of these amazing things that you've been able to accomplish in your life. Give us a little bit, of a background, as somebody who is a #1 international best-selling author. You obviously have guided us through so many wonderful things through your writings and your work. Tell us a little bit about that piece and what inspires you to bring some of this work to the world.
Sure. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that I'm a great writer. I am really great at conversation. And
Mm,
so I don't want that to ever stop somebody from sharing your story.
mm.
Because the very first time that I wrote, I spoke into my phone and I handed it to my friend and she transcribed everything. So please don't ever let that hold you back if you don't think like if you do run on sentences and things like that. Like, who cares? We have all this technology that can help us.
Wow.
And so in doing that, it has just opened up such a world to me because we all have a story and we may all in our industry say almost the same thing, but it's going to land differently with each person that we resonate with. So I encourage you, I almost challenge you and everyone to write your story. It's healing. It's not only healing for you, but it's healing for someone who's you're gonna change their life by sharing your story.
It's so true. I mean, that it like never underestimate the power of like helping somebody like understand that they're not alone in it,
Mhm.
right? And I think that that is really, really powerful. And you have a beautiful way of connecting. I think it is. I'm sitting here kind of chuckling to myself. I have to be very honest with you because I think you are an incredible writer. I love reading. I really just recently read something that you wrote, and I actually responded back, and I'm like, "You are an incredible writer. I absolutely love reading this." I actually don't want it to stop, right? I just want to echo what you're saying because if you don't think you're a good writer,
Mhm.
and that could have stopped you. And I read a lot of my client stuff and I read a lot of books outside of my clients and fiction books and things like that. And so I am an avid reader and I love your writing. So isn't that so funny sometimes just if you have something to say, if you have a passion behind something, if it's just this innate wisdom, right? That you're thinking, "Oh, I'm not so good at it just because it flows from you. It just your run-on sentences I feel like is your divine downloads, right? Like, and so it's just kind of like a little bit of a reframe, right? Where I'm kind of like, I want more of that. And you're kind of like, well, I just do this all day long. No big deal, right? And we all have that, is what you're saying. And I love that you're saying that to people. Like we all have that gift in some way. Yours might not be writing or whatever it is, but it's like everyone has that beautiful, beautiful gift and it is to be shared. I really believe that is the purpose of life, is that you have a beautiful gift inside of you, and the purpose of life is to share that. And in sharing that, you do receive something back, like you just said, maybe changing someone's life.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about something you are talking about recently, and I had the privilege of you're talking about it, and I had the privilege of reading about it recently, is about this sort of point in life that we get to, this midlife point, if you will. That I told you I have conversations with my best friends about this all of the time, but we all say no one is talking about this except for us. Or like nobody's online is talking about this. There's not books about it, right? Like, so I really enjoyed when you approached me with this topic. So would you share with us what this topic is and why you felt compelled to begin this conversation?
Sure. It's almost like as if my generation, at least, was taught to feel shameful of this metamorphosis that's happening. And it's not. It's like taking off your princess crown and putting on your queen crown, seriously.
Mhm.
And what it is that it's perimenopause and it's menopause. And we actually try to fight it rather than embracing it. We're fighting it. Our hormones are all over the place. You and actually, I mean, if we could get into all of that, that would be like I don't have much time to tell you because we would need like 2 days
That's a
seminar
whole
on it.
series, right? And I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
that's, yeah,
And
something that
I
we
think
need to
maybe
unpack. Yeah,
we can do
exactly.
that. But it's like the brain fog. But I found what was most interesting is feeling invisible. I really did. And that was shocking. I'm used to standing on stage in my spaces in front of thousands of people, walking down the street and smiling at everyone and just, having this light and this attraction because of my energy. And I didn't have any energy. I had no energy. I married two of my best friends, and I was so sad because I had no energy. I left the wedding early because I was just exhausted,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want anybody to think like there's something wrong with you. Like hormones are changing. It's okay to give yourself grace to be able to go home and take a nap. One of the biggest things that I would tell people to do is find a support group. Honest to gosh, there sometimes, and when like this is my industry, I know too much. So I'm always analyzing and, oh, I can fix it. No, let me surrender into this moment, be vulnerable enough to share what's happening and maybe see a different perspective from someone. So if
Mm.
you came to me and said, hey, I'm in the middle of perimenopause or menopause, could you help me? I could tell you and fix you, but I'm too close to myself to understand
Mm.
that. And I really want people to start recognizing that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to find some support. And the most important thing is when we complain about it, we attract more of it in. We just lower our vibration. So even in this stage, we still have to find the positive of it. And trust me, when you get to the other side of it, it's okay. It's actually easy. You have less stuff to pack. You don't have to worry about stuff.
Can check a couple of things off your list. I love it. So you started this piece that you wrote, and I loved how you began it, and you said I didn't recognize her at first. So can you tell me a little bit about that, about how somebody might feel, or how you felt specifically that called you to begin your piece in that way?
Yeah, one of the biggest light bulb moments for me was when I was at your house.
Mhm.
And we somehow, for all these years that we've been friends, we always end up next to each other in pictures. I don't even think we plan it, we just end up next to each other. And you had sent me a picture and I blew it up. And I was like, I know I was there. I was standing next to you. Where am I? And that's how I was just like, oh my gosh, that is me. I had lost a lot of my hair. I had lost, my eyebrows. I had to take my lashes out. I'd put on a ton of weight. I just did not look like myself, nor did I feel like myself. And I was like, oh, I need some help. I really, really need some help. And that day, I was going to meet somebody, and a friend of mine, I showed her the outfit I was wearing, and she was like, no, you're hiding yourself. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I am hiding because I wasn't being my full self. I was allowing myself to shrink in because I didn't feel good. And I felt like something was off inside of me. Of course, there was all kinds of external things happening, not just with my health and that, but it was like kind of all layered on. And so it was time to start peeling away those layers.
Wow. Okay, so we do this. Um we hide and we dare I say ignore things for maybe a little bit too long, where then we can look back and go, "Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, this is where I am.
Yeah.
This is
E-
my reality, right? This is, not only where I am, but who I am. So then all of a sudden you go, what I'm really proud of you is that you said, like, oh, I need some help. Well, like, first of all, wow, that is really powerful because a lot of times we go inward and say, what's wrong with you?
Mhm.
Like we beat ourselves up. Like to
Yeah.
actually say, I'm willing to get some, like, to allow someone to support me,
Mhm.
like I'm allowing myself to get help. That is enormous. So I think my biggest takeaway from that after the awareness is that you gave yourself enough love
Mhm.
to allow yourself support, right? So that's huge. And then how do we then begin to like unpack this?
Hmm. Well, understanding that in vulnerability, it's not a weakness, it's not a surrendering, it's a strength. It's like you're throwing in that white flag to be, I surrender to my blessings rather
Mhm.
than, oh gosh, I'm vulnerable. I can't do this. No, you can do this. And so the unpacking was, okay, my sleep. This ring is I'm doing advertisement
Ring.
or a ring.
Yeah. She needs an affiliate link.
Yeah. The sleep. And I understand that our sleep is off, but that sleep is so important. So if maybe you need some magnesium, maybe you need to cut out the coffee at a certain time. That sleep is so important. Understanding like exercise is breath to me. And being in adrenal fatigue and I talked about it in the book, adrenal fatigue, long haul COVID, and going through perimenopause and menopause at the same time, girl. No, like my release mentally and physically is that exercise, and I couldn't exercise because when I would exercise, then my cortisol levels would come up, and then it was making things even worse. So I
Oh.
had to learn to say no. If my ring said a 63, there was no way that I could work out that day because then I would be in bed for a couple days. And so understanding and paying attention to the signs and not just pushing through, a walk is an exercise. So if you need to get out and get some fresh air, do it. Sitting in the sun and sun gazing was one of the big things that my doctor recommended me do is just to get that vitamin D in. I have if you saw my living room right now, I have infrared sauna blankets. I have PEMF infrared stuff laying around. Like it's all about every way that I can try to heal myself with the supplements to become the best version of who I am now.
Okay. And so you must have something coming up around this because I have so many questions, but I know that each one of these things takes a while to dig into. And I really think that the conversation is like how do we know what the signs are? And then how do we know how to manage it and regulate it? And then how do we know those things that you just mentioned that are in your living room to support you? Like, and where do we go to get those types of resources, right? Like, I'm just going to totally put you on the spot. Like, I mean, you have to be willing to do like an online workshop around this or some kind of group or something, right? Because I really feel like there is not enough, not only conversation, Jodie, but information. And you
I,
said you said this is my life. So can you tell people who might be new to you why for you you're like this is what I do? Like what does that mean when you say that? Like this was my industry. This is my like what I did for people.
so I have owned integrative wellness centers almost my entire adult life, speaking on stages, talking to people about your different types of modalities. I believe in Eastern and Western medicine, but I'm going to go as far to the non-drug side as I can. And I have such amazing friends. I'm going to say my Rolodex. Kids don't know what a Rolodex is now, but like all these amazing friends that I can call and just ask things to and bounce ideas off so that we can put together beautiful programs for people to make them feel healthy and successful and seen and validated. And yes, there is a course coming.
Yes, there's got to be a course on this because we need the information, right? To
Mhm.
to for those people who say, I do need help, there needs to be a lifeline. They need to know where to go. And quite frankly, there's not many people in the world that have the Rolodex that you do, right? And so if you are able to kind of put that together and it can be a one-stop shop, that seems to me not like to be the easy button and very, very, very serving to so many people. How do we get in touch with you, Jodie? Like, how do we get into your world? How do we learn more about you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, just I'm on Instagram, everything, all my socials, LinkedIn, Instagram, websites, social, anything is Jodie Baudek, Jodie, B as in boy, A-U, D as in dog, E-K. And I giggle when I say dog because my life is dogs.
Mine too. And I do have two human children, but my dog is my favorite. My favorite daughter. And probably my daughter just got home from school. She could probably hear me now. She's probably rolling her eyes in the other room. Um, and so what was the biggest thing that you learned from this experience?
Taking a happy pill. And when I say take a happy pill, I don't mean like a pill. I mean like what brings me happiness. If that means Friday night that I sit on my couch and binge watch Netflix and just pet my dogs, that is my happy pill. And understanding the boundaries and when to say, I can't do this. I need a break. We people all day, and that's a lot of people in. And so to be able to go back, and especially we're both extroverted, and so we need that time to rejuvenate our soul and our spirit and allowing ourselves to take that time, going to take a class, even if you can't walk physically somewhere to do it, just whether it be a meditation class or a cooking class or any of those things, something that's going to fill up your soul so that you're not the teacher and always having to be the strong one to hold on to that. Because I feel like so many women wear that busyness as a honor. I don't. Like I love now that my life is so much easier.
Mm, that's so beautiful.
Thanks.
So, we talked a lot about, well, that's not true. We spoke briefly actually about the fact that this is mindset, right? Like getting through this time of your life, is a lot. Mindset has a lot to do with it. So tell us a little bit about that piece of it and what can you offer someone right now that might be saying, I can relate to all of this, right? So is there one tool, one shift, maybe one mindset shift that you might be able to offer someone that can kind of help them through?
Sure. Before I even get out of bed, thank you, God, for the beyond blessed life that you have given me. And you choose to bless me with uncommon favor. How may I be of service today? So that sets the tone. No social media, no phone, nothing for your first 45 minutes. And when you get up and you look in that mirror, you don't talk about what's wrong. You can, sure, it's kind of crazy, but our butts kind of go a little flatter as we get older, And I look and I'm always like, nice butt, girl. Like all these little things to kind of just make yourself giggle. I have dance parties USA all the time in my house. I turn on music. Sometimes I'm on FaceTime with my friends, or else I just dance for one whole song just to get the energy back up. Because when you're in that vibration down here, it's easy to stay here or go lower. But if you can just find little things throughout the day to bring you back up, it really helps.
Wow. Okay. So if you're anything like me, you are wanting more. Always. You know what? I'm always wanting more from you, Jody. Because I always say every time I talk to you, I say I can talk to you forever, and it's absolutely true. But this topic in particular, because it feels very untouched. I'm so grateful that you're willing to share your personal experience, but also your professional tools like that you have around this. And it's like you're the perfect person to be able to kind of bring some light to this because you do have this incredible background and this lifetime of resources and knowledge to bring to the table. But that now you also have this wisdom of a personal experience, and you have a beautiful, which everyone can already see, this beautiful, warm way about you to really be able to. walk people through this, guide people, coach people, mentor people. It's a really, really beautiful thing. And so I want to encourage everyone to get into Jodie's world, connect with her on Instagram, and from the link tree, I'm sure you can find all the places from there, or whatever that looks like through your link. But I think that I cannot wait to see what is to come because it's just very needed. And you have this beautiful way about you where you just really allow yourself to be guided and you allow yourself to show up where you will serve the most. And you leave me in awe, right? Like when I witness your journey, when I get to be a part of your journey, I really get left in awe because you find a way to show up and fill the space in truly the way that is of the highest service to all involved at all times. And it's just really incredible.
Thank you. I received that. Thank you.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
appreciate it, especially coming from you. I honor that.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Jodie, for being with us today. We can't wait to see more from you. And thank you all so much for being with us as well. I hope you have enjoyed this conversation as much as I have. Bye, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.